All right, the Reds, thank you very much for tuning in for our instant post-match reaction. 6-goal thriller at Brentford's ground anyway. From a neutral point of view, you're absolutely buzzing for what a great game of football, but from a Liverpool fan's point of view, and deeply disappointing, really. I think Liverpool took the lead twice within that game, as I said from the title and the thumbnail. Brentford, yes, do deserve a lot of credit. And for me, as a neutral that has watched Brentford over the last couple of, especially last season and in the Premier League already on Match of the Day, that they have got this performance in them. And I think they will take a lot of big scalps within the Premier League top clubs. But frankly, Liverpool's defensive line today was all over the place, left, right, and centre. Trent, Robbo, Van Dijk, massive as well. And the substitution for me, really, I felt taking Curtis Jones off straight away since he scored that goal. What a strike, really. Yes, it took a little deflection, but it really took away from, for me, obviously the substitution was planned to bring on Bobby Firmino, but Liverpool we lost that man in midfield, that extra bit of control, really. And obviously Brentford suffocating, especially Liverpool's midfield, and then swarmed us on some of the goals. Yes, they were scrappy, but they were getting men in the box, and they sensed, really, Liverpool were at 6s and 7s within that game. Great performance from Brentford. They'll be absolutely buzzing, and rightly so, and they deserve a lot of credit. But from a Liverpool point of view, defensively shocking, deeply disappointing, as I said. Took the lead twice within the game. But if you want to be competing for Premier League titles, I know come the end of the season, this point could be a massive point, but you surely have to be having better in-game management. Thomas Frank, you could see on the sideline. I think Brentford on another night possibly could have got a winner. Obviously, Ivan Toney was judged to be offside anyway, but as soon as we made the substitutions, we got the goal. Curtis, there wasn't really a threat on that Brentford goal. You sensed from Curtis, and obviously Jota had a fantastic first half, might that be said, and then Mo Salah breaking the record. What a legendary player, and he will go down in Liverpool's history books, and we can't really forget about that. But it's deeply disappointing. Let's get to all your comments anyway. Yes, Jack, how are you doing, Suki? John, shambolic defending, Jack. Yeah, you wouldn't even see that on Sunday League, mate. Frankly, disgusting in terms of analysing that. Another game lost due to lack of squad depth. FSG needs to invest or get out. It's a joke. I'm sorry, Ben. Everyone's comments I do respect all your opinions and they're very valid, but FSG, mate, FSG. What do you expect FSG to do? Jump on the pitch and defend John Henry at the back? Even with an extra man of John Henry at the back, Liverpool still would have been leaking goals. For me, the squad is quite strong. Yes, you can always look, but now is not the time to talk about squad depth, mate. That squad that was on the pitch today was frankly good enough to win against Brentford. No disrespect for Brentford, you played very well, but at the end of the day, you've got to focus on the game in hand, and when you are taking the lead twice within a game, and then the sloppy nature. Would have been great if we won that 3-2 sound, but Liverpool were very unfortunate to really come away with a point. Yes, we can talk about the Brentford goalkeeper having a superb save. Somehow he denied Jota in that first half to get another goal anyway. But 68% possession. If you watch Brentford, you know he like to soak up possession really and hit teams on the counter attack. They've got a lot of very pacey players, but deeply disappointing really for me. As I said, the substitution very strange. I know we needed the goal at that time, and but for Firmino, for me really, frankly, when he did come on, didn't really import a lot really in terms of the final outputs. Another game, but come the end of the season, don't want to dwell too much on the defensive sloppiness, which it was. Brentford, I tell you, as at the top of the show, they will be taking a lot of big scalps within the Premier League, and we'll see that anyway. But yeah, Jones taking off was a big mistake, Zuki. It was proving the energy in that midfield. Not just the energy there, Zuki, the control within the midfield as well, most importantly. Hello, fellow Reds, scoring 3 goals should win a game, but our defence was shocking. Fair results, absolutely spot on there, Raymond. Yes, give Brentford credit, but we are shocking at the back and not good enough. Spectre, yeah, I think, yes, on one hand, you could say, yes, we should learn from this result and from the shambles. I think Klopp's like us, he'll be absolutely fuming. He'll go in after full time, really, and he'll probably shut the door and lock the door, really, and frankly, have a word with a lot of them. As good as Liverpool are sometimes in games going forward, we've seen it against the likes of Crystal Palace. Fabinho, frankly, can't defend the whole opposition team on his own. He needs a bit more help from his midfield, and not just the midfield players, the attacking forwards as well. Really need to be coming back into the right areas, in which we have seen in recent times. But a whole team, from a defensive point of view, defends from the front and the midfield, and then the back line as well. No, the point is that we don't have the quality off the bench to turn a game around, and was foreseen during the shite transfer window we had. Yeah, if buts and maybes, mate, really, you can always look at hindsight is a very wonderful thing, Ben, in it. But at the end of the day, Liverpool tonight had the opportunities, and on another night, Brentford or Liverpool could have won that game. But will come hindsight at the end of the season will be great. That point could win us the league. That point could lose us the league anyway. Really, but top of the league by a point. Obviously, we've seen Chelsea get Man City get a great result at Stamford Bridge, and they are playing without a striker, but they are looking very good. I think Chelsea will react as well. But coming yet, I think if everyone was asked, I think a couple of weeks before the season, would we take this position? Yes, we would. It's a great. We started off the season very well. Should have been 16 points, but if only football was that easy. It's not always as easy because you've got Brentford, teams coming up from the league, and obviously teams within the Premier League. This is why we love football. As much as we wanted to get 3 points, but it's not always guaranteed. And this is another reminder for not just Jürgen and the lads, but for all of us, really. We've got to focus one game at a time, and we've got to play our best side. It's not always going to be our best performance, but we need to grind these results out, especially when you are defensively as poor as we were today. But it's great to see a Premier League side like Sheffield, when they come up into the Premier League, actually have a go. But Thomas Frank, I tell you now, if he does solidify Brentford in the league for a couple of years, and I think he will, you could see tactically he's so spot on within the game. You're seeing Jürgen Klopp. Yes, Jürgen is very good tactically, but Frank knew exactly what he was doing against that Liverpool side, and especially against a team at the elite level in which Liverpool are. He knows what he's doing. And tell you, if he can keep hold of a couple of players. But for me, he's already everyone on the channel know I'm a massive fan of Ivan Toney. He caused us a lot of problems today. And I found out today he's a Liverpool fan, but you never know in what the future holds anyway. But I tell you, if he does keep on performing, a certain 80, £100 million man was quite quiet when we played against Chelsea. But Ivan Toney caused a lot of problems, not just Toney, but obviously the Brentford forwards as well. But deeply disappointing, but we move on. We've got to focus on the next game now, which is the Porto game. But yeah, Spectre, Andy Robinson was by far our worst player on the field. But again, we can't take our chances. Not good enough. Klopp doing his 90-minute sub nonsense again. Should have made that sub in the final 10. Yes, deeply disappointed. I think Jürgen Klopp would be disappointed as well. We should have put on Milner when they scored the second goal. Fully much agree with that, Spectre. When you lose a man, a midfielder in Curtis Jones, and you sub him on for a forward, they were absolutely all over us, mate. And you watched the game, everyone watched the game, and there was no control at all in that midfield. And the game was, from a spectacle, it was great. Not for Liverpool or Brentford fans, because the ball was going backwards, forwards for both teams. And as I said, Brentford or Liverpool could have really got a winner, and they fully would have deserved it anyway. with his vast of experience, plus seeing our rivals drop points today, we had the job to do and win. Not good enough for us today. Got to start, get ready for work, lad. Enjoy the stream. Cheers for that, Ben. Have a lovely rest of the evening, everyone. Enjoy your weekends. Red's top of the league. Happy days. But, Brentford could go, not Brentford, Brighton could go top of the league if they do win their fixture this weekend. And what a great start to the Premier League. That is probably one of the most, if you're sitting back and not good viewing for a Liverpool fan, because we once saw 3 points, but that's probably the game of the season already. I know we're 5 or 6 weekend fixtures into the season anyway, but what a great advert for the Premier League. A lot better than Man City Chelsea game today. I know that was very tactically 50-50, very cagey, but I tell you, we go marching on, Reds. We go against Porto, and I'll have a pre-match build-up show on the channel this week, well, in the coming days anyway. But Reds, have a lovely rest of your evening. Thank you for everyone watching the live stream, and everyone watching on if you rewind it on once it's been uploaded anyway. But yeah, we go again against Porto. Let's hope Brentford can play like that against our rivals, and not just a one-off game. Spectre, they very much will, mate. They very much will. They're a very well coached side. That's 5-hour coach ride back to the 501 will be very interesting. Gary, very, very interesting. There'll be not a lot of happy faces on that team bus, and rightly so, mate. As we said already on the show tonight, everyone in the comment section below as well. Let me know your thoughts after, if you're watching as well. I will be replying to every single one of you. What do you want Liverpool to see Liverpool do more? Would you swap Kostas for Robinson in the next fixture? Because seriously, that was not good enough. We don't want to be picking out players, but the whole Liverpool backline and the midfield and the attacking forwards. We should be talking about Mohamed Salah breaking the quickest player in Liverpool's history to reach 100 league goals, beating the great Roger Hunt. Phenomenal. He's elite. We need to sort a contract out, because I tell you, Liverpool would be scratching our head in most games if Salah wasn't scoring these goals, and we'd be deeply disappointed. But nice one, Jackie Boy. Spectre, thank you very much for tuning in as well, everyone. Every single one of you, if you are watching this on the repeat, have a lovely rest of your weekend. Enjoy it. Lazy. Only wanting to do enough to win a game. Deeply disappointing, Fabian. Very, very disappointing. But that's football. But yeah, everyone have a lovely rest of your evening if you can. I know it's not great when Liverpool drop points, but a lot of credit has to go to Frank and his Brentford side. They will. It won't be just this result that will surprise a lot of teams, but keep an eye on Brentford, because they play football the right way. And I tell you, they continue playing like that, then, as we said, Liverpool need Ollie Watkins. For me, Gary, it's got to be Ivan Toney. I think a lot of clubs will be sniffing around Brentford if he does continue to put in performances like he did today and throughout this season. But Reds, have a lovely rest of your evening, and I will see you a bit later in the next couple of days for a pre-match Porto game build-up. Cheers, Reds. You never walk alone. Ta-ra.